Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit up, I feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello world, I'm What If Study. Today I bring you a very special What If. What if Deku was Aisawa's only hope? Part 1 of this series. Please, feel free to like and subscribe. Whatever you want. You don't want to? You don't have to. Alright. We start on a subtle afternoon. A very calm spot in the woods. Waterfalls everywhere. The birds all chirping. The life in the forest all brimming. Aisawa sitting on a chair, on a rocker. Screeching back and forth, it almost hypnoses those to his presence. One of Aisawa's boys, a little boy, comes up to him. "When's dinner? Father." "When did I tell you? 6:30, now get out of my face." As a orange-haired girl comes out of the cabin, opening up the creaky door, putting her hand on his shoulder, saying, Now. What did I say? You can't be so rude to little David." Fine. It'll be in 20 minutes. Get your ass inside before I have to say anything more. As she scooches the little boy along, she comes back out, placing her hand at the same place. Aisawa kind of reluctantly pushes her hand away. "What's wrong, honey?" "It's nothing." As she looks exactly where Aisawa was staring to. His son. His biggest son. Our green-haired boy of exciting tales, trying to go out into the woods for adventure, however feeling the piercing glare of his father even from a few miles away. He could tell that his father was watching over him. Deku was in the woods, searching for some adventure. He came across many different animals out in the wild there. His little brother, closely behind him, saying, I don't think we should be going this far. What if they can't find us?" "We'll be fine, don't worry. I'm 5 after all. I am the most adventurous one that you'll find in this whole world. Who do you think can actually survive out in the woods, unlike us? If you want something in life, you have to take it." As he starts walking away, his little brother just kind of halts there for a second, thinking over it, but then realizing that Deku is far ahead of him, speeds up his pace again. He meets up with Deku as Deku suddenly stops in the track, bumping into the head of his younger brother. As his younger brother holds up to his head saying, "Jeez, what happened? Why'd you stop like that? God." And then he looks up. A shadow loomed over Deku and him. "Is it a monster?" Deku says, "Run!" As, both of them start running out into the forest as, his little brother says, "What was that thing?" Deku's like, "I don't know what it was, but it was massive. Maybe a bear? Maybe some sort of bug thing? I don't know. Just keep on running." And then suddenly he stops hearing the screams of his brother. He starts running straight back to the cabin, dashing past the trees and falling down onto the autumn leaves. He tumbles down a short spring and then almost hits his head on one of the rocks. However, somebody catches him before he smashes his head and brings him up to its level. Deku screams and then, a hand covers his mouth. I didn't ask you to run terrified from me, kid. Don't you know the top hero when you see him? Kids these days. I feel like I'm becoming older every day. Where's your father? Do you know my father? He's Aisawa, right? Or did I pick up and randomly abuse random kids in this neighborhood? Or part of the woods? He's just down that way. Where's my brother? Oh, he's on the other side of my back. He's like, excuse me to say this, but you're massive, sir. That's true. Well, not much anymore. As, he coughs up a little blood and then goes off into the woods, letting down his little brother, as his little brother had basically been knocked out from using so much energy. Also, he wouldn't stop punching and kicking, so, he was knocked out. Deku and him slowly make their way back to the cabin. As Aisawa's voice can be heard, plus their mother's, and also whoever that was. Deku and his brother play outside for a little while, as then they come in, realizing that the mood and the atmosphere wasn't ready for them to walk in, as Aisawa was sort of staring, this dead silence that only could be accompanied by Aizawa's stare. There was murder in the room. Deku, however, cut straight through that like a knife through butter. So, is dinner ready? Yes, of course. As she brings out some 3 courses from the refrigerator, bringing in his third brother, calling in Davis. Deku, please don't eat like that again. As Deku's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, with your mouth open, of course. As he's like, I promise. They all sit down to the table. Kids, this is, well, what you may know him as, All Might. Yes. What? But that guy, wait, who is this guy? As, Aizawa looks back as Aizawa had turned, All Might had turned into Small Might. Oh. He's still All Might. They're like, wait, what? And, as that sort of shock goes throughout this family, they continue on with their dinner. Kids, we might have to leave. That cuts into the middle of their in the middle of them eating. Deku pipes up saying, what do you mean you're leaving? I won't be at the cabin for a few years. Yeah, years? Years? What is this? Are you abandoning us? No. As he rubs the top of Deku's head and looking down to him, he looks to both of his brothers too, reaching out his other arm to rub on the top of the hairs of his third brother, his gray hairs shifting through the white silt in Aizawa's hand. You better hold down the fort, understand me? Keep your chin up, god damn it, Deku. You don't want to embarrass me. As Deku picks his head up and looks up to his father. Of course. I will. I think. No, I thinks, okay? Only do's. You're an Aizawa patron. You are made for this. You're Shota. Understand that? And your brothers are too, so that means you have to protect them. As Aizawa gets up from the dinner table, Deku's mother had this silence to her. Deku ate atrociously that night, mouth open and all. All she did was stare at the wall. In the morning, his father was to leave, as he packs up his bags and leaves with All Might. As All Might and him wave to both Deku and his brothers. Both of them leave off into the woods. I'm following them. As, all of them were like smiling, crying, all that different stuff, but Deku just cuts it, saying, I'm following after them. As he goes back up to his, up to his room, starts packing up. As his mother's like, no, you're not. I'm sorry, but I can't let you. And then he just vaults out of the window, as he had already packed up all of his stuff just last night. After all, his mother was quite distracted. He jumps down to the ground as his little brother Davis comes up to him, saying, where are you going? To save Dad. You couldn't save Dad if you tried. Listen here, you want to follow me? As, the other brother comes out of the house with tears in his eyes, like, you can't go just like Dad. If you want to follow me, then follow me. I don't care. You'll be doing the same thing as me, so I don't care. But if you do follow me, understand that if you get hurt, it's no longer my fault. As little Davis walks away from him, kind of letting down his hands, crying even more, like there was anything left in the tank. His other brother, Alawa Shota, walks out of the house from the front porch down onto the ground. The gravel and the silt that the hands on his father reminded him. They shifted through the fall leaves, falling out into the forest, silent as a fox, but still talking about the adventures that they'll see. Past the forest, past the gaze of his father's eyes, past what his father had done in the past. His father never talked much about his adventures. He always told them, though. As once it came to night, both of them were starving. They stopped to eat some berries. They stopped making a campfire, sort of rubbing two sticks together, but that was unable to do it. They usually camped out in the forest anyways. They were used to the cold. Deku and his brother warmed each other with, just, body heat, basically. Living out in the forest became normal for them after just a few adjustments. They kept on their adventure on the only road that connected to their cabin, down all the way through the valley. They found themselves in multiple fights against different animals out in the forest. What could they do? They were just young, hunted down by multiple bears and different things. His father always told them about bears, how his father was able to stop the quirked ones from harming any of them, or the general intensity from him also got rid of most of the bears. The ones that they found on their quests were either quirked or not. They chased them for hours, but the one thing that they knew how to do was climb a tree. Black bears were the ones that you wanted to watch out for. Once they got down into the, once all the autumn leaves started to be replaced by the white winter, everything changed. They started to find more towns and taverns and different places. They had never really interacted with many people outside of their cabin. Deku was the only one of his brothers that was able to speak common with people. He was very open with the bartenders, and was able to get them a free, cabin because of him talking them into one. Him and his brother ate nice that night, usually eating off of other people's plates out in the hallways or stealing it from the, cart that they wished around. They found a secret stash of candy that one night. and shared it together, like kings. The next day, they walked out into the town and asked around for if they had seen anybody of the same statures as his father and, Aisawa. Aizawa and All Might. They said that they were heading southbound, just left of the marketplace. Deku and his brother stopped by the marketplace. His brother, astonished by the different local foods and all the different stuff, kind of got mixed up in all the, all the different stuff that is there. His Deku had to go and chase after him, of course. As when he found him, he instantly put him back into his place, trying to tell him that, they're on a mission, remember? We don't even have any money if we did. And then they look over seeing some kids performing, a little drum kit and another one sort of singing to it, and getting money for it. And he looks down to see, his brother starving. They were no longer in the woods. They couldn't hunt for their food. So they performed out on the streets, joining the kid that was drumming, a brown-haired kid with oval eyes, and the other one, a pink-haired girl, clearly had her hair colored, that was starting to wisp away in the winds. She was quite sprite and had a lovely voice. Deku joined them by, upping the crowd, going around asking for donations, as his brother actually was quite the skilled guitarist. He was only great with strings when it came to using something like a banjo. His brother was quite gifted, as he joined in with it. They created a mini band for a few minutes. It was quite nice. Overnight, they had gained almost 200 coins. That's enough to get themselves a free shipment all the way to the next town, where they were said to be going. They decided not to do that, and adventured on foot, going throughout the wilds once again, because they were actually better off in the wilds than in the cities. Him and his brother found something to do. Hunting. They became faster and stronger over time. The walk to the next town would take almost half a year, as it was quite far away. More than 500 miles. They would be able to take a car if they had purchased it. The rent was almost 200 coins. On this walk of 500 miles, they became faster and stronger over their relationship. Deku's quirk reluctantly showed itself in small ways. Him gaining adrenaline boosts or other stuff like that. His brother able to start fires with his eyes. Something nobody expected. It was almost like telekinesis, but it started sparks and fires with the eyes of him. However, it helped them survive in the wild quite well. They acclimated fast, becoming very strong, very fast. Deku was able to outrun even bears by this point, able to pick up his brother and start them running off. Once they finally made it to the big city, they were so proud. You should have seen them, hugging each other and high-fiving. Oh, his little brother excited to see the marketplace in this place, as Deku just kind of like pats him on the head, saying, "That's not what we're here for. We gotta find our father." And then all they see is a massive tank rolling through the city, and a madman pops out the front of it. "I'm the gold digger, and if anybody asks you, oh yeah, I stole the whole bank, and this tank with it too." And he fires it off in a random direction, hitting like a mountain. He's like, "See that? That'll happen to all of you." And then he just gets batted on the back of the head and is instantly knocked out. As Aizawa stands above him, saying, "It's not good to just parade your winnings throughout the streets just because you thought you won." His eyes, not even activated at this point. It seemed like there were scars around his eyes. It coursed all the way back through his hair. The scars, and plus the bandages that roamed around his head. They seemed engulfed in flames. What was this? Thank you so much for watching. I am actually really proud of this one. I really do hope that a lot of people watch this, because I really want to do a second version, you know? I mean, God. Alright, enough of me rambling to ya. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and goodbye.